Kind of cool to show you guys. This is a flying stone generator, as well as I got a flying cobblestone generator. These things are both infinitely automatic, meaning that once you set them, you can go as far as you want without having to worry about ever doing any maintenance to them. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. If you guys remember, in the past, I actually designed quite a few different types of flying stone generators. Some of the first ones that I came up with were using the frostwalking on entities trick to make it fly through the air. But when they introduced waterlogged, I found a way to move water using flying machines, even in the early snapshots. And you can find links to all the videos I talk about in the description. Now this design here is pretty much exactly like the previous design, except I switched it over to use honey blocks. So instead of having the minecart having to be pushed behind by another block, we can just attach the minecart directly to the slime block. Let's go ahead and give it a try. If you hop in here, you have to run these things in survival for your lava bucket to work. All you have to do is AFK and hold right click at this angle right here. And there you go. That's all there is to it. And you just keep some weight on your mouse, and when you come back, there'll be an extremely long cobblestone path behind you. And we've used this quite a bit on the ProTech SMP server to make extremely long paths in the world. I also use this kind of trick to make an infinitely automatic railway system building machine. That one's really cool. If you haven't seen it already, be sure to check out that video. It makes a whole rail system with one player while being AFK. You can go ahead and stop it, and it's ready to go whenever you want to take off again. Now the reason why we have the player sitting in a minecart rather than just making the player stand on a honey block and place in the lava is that even with honey block stickiness and moving entities, there is a chance that the player will clip off of it on servers and fall to the ground. So just to avoid that, we have the player sitting inside of a minecart, which is kept track of very well by the server, unlike the players. Now you might not even see the water where the cobblestone is being generated, but it's actually a waterlogged stair way inside of here. And essentially the water is kind of touching the edges here, so even this edge here is being touched by the water, and that's why when the lava comes in contact with it, it's going to produce a cobblestone. Now the way I move the waterlogged blocks has changed throughout the versions, but the way that still works is if you give a sticky piston a brief pulse while there is a waterlogged block in front of it, it will be able to move it. So if you do a slow pulse, it will remove the water. But if you give it a very fast pulse, the water will stay there. So there's water right here. It's still there. Now this only goes with pushing. It doesn't matter if you pull fast or pull slow, you will also lose the water. It has to be a stick piston. It can't be a normal piston. This will cause the water to be lost as well. So keep that in mind if you want to make any adjustments to this fly machine. This is a cobblestone one. We also made a stone one. This was a request during our snapshot stream. Those are Wednesday and Friday. We open up a testing world where you guys, the viewers, can join and work on stuff with me. And this is one of the things that we built during that stream a couple days ago. And this one can actually do stone. So to make cobble, you want the lava to come in contact with the side of the water in order to make this. But with stone, you want the lava to come in contact from above the water. So we're going to put lava right up in here. It's going to come in contact with this water. And it's not going to convert the lava source into obsidian, but instead is going to convert the bottom piece into stone. So this is flowing water here. And let's go ahead and give this one a try. Once again, you have to go into survival. You aim about right here and just hold down right click. And yeah, you can see how it works. We got lava, and it takes a little bit of time, but it's going to convert that water source, which is directly below it, into stone. And by the time that happens, there is a little delay that I put into the machine so that it will move everything forward as soon as that occurs. You can also do the F3 plus T trick to hold down your right click button for you. So if I go into survival and I hold down right click, don't have to be aiming at anything, and do F3 plus T, and as soon as this comes up, release the right click button. And now I'm going to automatically have it held down. So now all I have to do is aim at the top of the stair, and I don't have to hold down any buttons whatsoever. So it's a kind of good little trick you can use in the newer versions to hold down buttons. So you can go ahead and stop this, and it is ready to go once again. So even though you can't move lava with fly machines, you can have the player hold lava and kind of move it along. So lava actually doesn't move at all with the fly machine. The machine moves forward, and the lava source will come in front of the player. So notice how I aim the back of the stair here. I'll place the lava there. The whole machine moves forward, including me. And since I'm right clicking, when the player moves into the lava source again, I pick it up and then I place it up against the stair in the background again. And this way I'm inching the lava forward, since there is no way currently to lava log any blocks. That's a really cool trick that came up with to make this possible. Now, if they ever do introduce lava logging to something like stairs, there's a lot of other blocks that you can use, like end rods, to also make this possible. So after lava is placed in, it will make this update here, and this will push a piston over here forward, and this is just going to push a chain of pistons, which is just going to create a bunch of delays. So this gets pushed forward. These all start pulling their segments backwards. At the very end, it will pull the player as well as this piston forward. And when this piece moves forward, what's going to happen is there's an observer here, which is going to power this for a very short period, allowing this to push the water forward, as well as some other blocks, which just keep it from making a mess down below. And it's kind of a funny safety system, since the observer is pointing upwards. It'll only work if there is a block here. So if you happen to run it and there's no block here, it'll just automatically stop itself. Now in the old design, I just had the observer pointing sideways into a slime block, but we can't do that if we're choosing to build this out of honey blocks, which I did. As honey blocks are really cool, but they are definitely not necessary for this build. You could build either of these out of slime blocks if you just secure the minecart with like a trapdoor. I also put in a little water capture, so even if this block hasn't been put in yet, the water will still be captured here and it won't make a mess underneath. So there's a few extra little blocks around the bottom here just to keep in the water. And even when the fly machine is moving, the water doesn't make a mess either. Now there's another kind of cool trick that you can use to kind of keep water from spilling out. And I did try it earlier with this machine. And that is, if you have a water source that sees a waterlogged block, it will actually try to flow down into it. And let me show you guys how this works. So this was just a normal block. The water placed here would flow out this direction. But you see, if I place it here, it actually tries to go into this waterlogged block because there's already a water source there. But if this was a non-waterlogged block, notice how the water just flows out there. So it's kind of a cool little trick you can use to try to keep water from flowing in some weird positions. Now, if you put the stairs like upside down and waterlog them, notice how there's no surface area even showing. And you place water here, the water is going to kind of ignore it and flow outwards. So it has to kind of be exposed to it. So if I go ahead and update this water again, it should stay in there. Yes. Now I didn't add this little trick to the machine just because you end up having to push two water sources, which makes it actually more complicated because each of them have to be pushed by a sticky piston that is briefly being pulsed. It's a little bit easier just to make a small cradle to hold the water from escaping. So if you just want a small machine and a kind of rugged path, you go ahead and use this one here. But if you want a nice smooth path, you can go ahead and use this machine. Now these are really nice if you make long rail systems, either like in the overworld or in the end dimension. Obviously you can't use this in the nether dimension, but oftentimes in the end dimension you are looking to make paths kind of going out away from your different portals into the outer end islands. So this would be a cool way to do that. If you want to, you can also connect this with the flying rail machine that I made for you guys in the past, and between the two you can actually make a rail system automatically while being AFK. Now I haven't got around to actually combining the two for the newer version, so I don't have a like cobblestone generator plus rail builder all in one for one player. I'm still working on updating that from the older version. And the reason why the older version of that doesn't work is because they changed the way that water will update and flow. And in the older version, I also use the entity with the frostwalker boots on to move the water rather than using pistons like the newer versions that I made. But I'm thinking that the entity is actually going to make a smaller fly machine than pushing the water and with all the little tricks that you need to do to kind of contain it. That's something we'll probably work on in future snapshot streams. So if you guys want to learn about Slimestone and mess around with it, make sure you turn on your notifications on YouTube. Also follow me on Twitch and on Twitter, as well as join the Protech Community Discord, because those are all the places where I will inform everybody of when the streams start. You can also hop in the voice call on our Discord if you guys want to ever ask me questions, using your microphone rather than in chat. I hope you guys really enjoy these two little fly machines. Make sure to go ahead and like the video as well as share this with other Minecraft enthusiasts so they can learn about all the cool things that can be done with fly machines in vanilla survival Minecraft. And if you guys have any other ideas how these could be used, let me know down in the comments. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!